you, Hashim. I need to know if Dagona is here. If Dagona is here, please let me know. If you're panel, sorry, a performance, and then have the panel, the students' panel, commence. We won't take too much time. We're already behind our schedule, so we need to really mark time. Dagona, anytime you're here, let me know. But for now, I want to pray that we will welcome Rubonji. Rubonji, to blow us away with the performance. Immediately after that, we'll have the students' panel happening. Okay? So let's keep calm and get ready for Rubonji Army that is coming through with a presentation. I hope this stage will just be enough. You're welcome. Let's welcome Rubonji Army ISS, all the way from Tororo. Good. You picked one thing. But have come to the third item. Sure, you're in this position, okay? Here in the middle, so that the people on those machines don't have difficulty tracing you. That will help a lot. And maybe after speaking, you're also encouraged to keep your mic. And also HiPipo TV, you can get us live there. Ladies and gentlemen, the panel is fully composed. Young and brilliant men and women, they are going to blow us away. This very point, to usher in that panel. And let's put our hands together for the one who is going to lead that session by the name of Onyait Churchill. Onyait Churchill? Hey, no, don't be mean. Yes, yes, I love that. Onyait Churchill is a student at St. Mary's, Mutungo. He's one of the renowned and one of the celebrated young public. He has won like championship after championship, championship after championship. And he is not about to. Are we all ready? Are we all ready? Isaac, what do they do to show us that they have vibes? What do they do? Vibes, like vibes. How do we demonstrate vibes? Vibes. How do we demonstrate vibes? Feel free to come and show them. Isaac Amanya, come and show them how to show vibes. Vibes. Please give it up for Isaac as he shows us how to show vibes in sign language. You see?
When a person is coming, it's best to sitting. So sitting alone is not enough. So to me, when a person is coming to the stage, I show the vibes. I feel like that is showing vibes to that person. So that shows him that you're attentive and ready to welcome him. Thank you.
And I think big minds discuss people, big minds discuss events, and then great minds discuss ideas. We are the great minds. How many of us are great minds? Allow me welcome my panel, starting with Jacob Makelele Lodo from Uhindi SS Arua. Let's clap up for him as he steps up the stage. Then we have Alan. So today we are going to be discussing what do students really think, or what are their ideas about technology and literacy. And with my beautiful panel, I think I'll start with Jacob.
All right. Thank you very much. As stated by our moderator, my name is Lodo Jacob Makelele, a student from Mushindi Secondary School, Arua. So I'm going to dive into the questions that were posed, the question that was posed, and that is, how can you use scientific knowledge to solve practical problems or solve problems that we encounter every day? Then literacy is the ability to think, read, write, speak, and listen that enables communication. Then I would love to throw in some more light on the definition of technology. Personally, I would define technology as the application of scientific
in a community. Thank you.
And what is the role of technology as a tool in promoting literacy? Interactive EdTech helps in course referencing, utilizing grammar checkers, and detecting plagiarism. Assistive technology such as speech-to-text helps in improving reading comprehension and vocabulary. And then online communities help youth to share their writings and acquire feedback, and also social network. And then it helps us to also access vast amounts of information through ebooks, digital libraries, and internet. And it also enhances our
with the where you'll be inconvenienced. Maybe, let's say the library does not have a proper aeration, so you'll be inconvenienced. All you have to do with the digital world, you have to be connected. You have to have a gadget where you'll be connected to the internet, and you can access it from anywhere, in your living room, when you're in the game park, or you'll be, let's say you've gone for a road walk, you can access the internet. All you need is just a connection. Advanced search features.
Any language that you can use, and after all, you know that person is not going to do anything. Thank you.
Welcome. Thank you very much for that.
Thinking, whereby students can pronounce
developing, and very many people have adopted these programs. How effective is such technology in promoting literacy?
AI-powered educational assessment tools provide numerous benefits, including the improvement of accuracy and efficiency of assessments, generating personalized feedback for students. As students can also use the AI programs to learn at their own pace and address their learning challenges, thus improving literacy development. Thirdly, IL programs can facilitate language acquisition through language learning applications which utilize speech recognition and natural learning processing to provide real-life feedback on pronunciation, grammar, and vocabulary usage. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that beautiful input. Well, technology is not only bad, artificial intelligence is not only bad. Let's raise some flowers for my beautiful panelists who has just made it into the building. Thank you. Okay. So, you've been talking about artificial intelligence being of importance. And for students to access this artificial intelligence, we believe that they should have some devices with them. This drives me to Mr. Alan Karagamwe. Do you think schools should allow devices for students to ensure equal access to technology for literacy?
Thank you once again. According to my research, students love to learn by doing, interacting, and discovering. And they can do all that by using devices. And to me, it's too late for the government or for the people responsible to provide these devices to students for their learning so that they can improve on the literacy in Uganda. Why am I saying that they are too late to provide these devices? First of all, it facilitates personalized learning as a student. You can get a phone, you go to Google, or you go to any other website or platform. You search your own work without maybe the intervention of a teacher, without provide students with instant access to a vast access of information whereby students are able to access whatever they need as long as they have such devices. Because if I want to search, maybe I can say about economies of scale, maybe in economics, or I want to research about quadratic equations in mathematics, I'm able to go on Google. I just get those solutions and they tell me this is done in this, all this, and they help me to get information so that I can improve my literacy in my country, Uganda, if I can say. Then they also empower students and enhance learning, whereby their tools of education, or they provide materials of education to students, rather than better than those e-books or the traditional books. They provide the work that is better than the work is in traditional books or the e-books, because they are updated every time. They are updated every moment, and therefore they are not using the same pamphlet or the same textbook. It is not updated. There have been the changes from the INEB, from examiners. They are putting some changes, but that textbook is not informed. That textbook is not renewed. But then if you go like to Google, they are renewed because examiners, the people who work in INEB, they update all the information there. And therefore I say it is too late for us to be
born in school. Hallelujah. Yeah, he has talked about the longevity of information online or via these devices. We can be able to achieve, or rather, but assuming you're given these phones, Jovia Kamuli,
This is through setting clear expectations for screen time and communicate them. This is like, for example, establishing the time when the students have to spend via their technology tools, for example, the smartphones, how much time they need to focus on these screens. And secondly, encouraging students to take breaks from screens and encourage in other productive leisure activities, for example, sports, arts and crafts, hence helping them improve their physical health and having a breakage from the constant stimulation of screens. Thirdly is helping the students to patriotize screen time. This means that students need the time to focus on educative programs on their screens. This helps them to concentrate on valuable things than being on social media, for example, TikTok, where they get entertainment, and forget to focus on educative programs that can lead them to success. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you very much. She doesn't agree with the fact that there should be screen time. We should focus on our studies. Honorable Sebunya Arafat, who has just joined us, how are you doing? Thank you. How best can a nation utilize technology to promote literacy among citizens?
Okay. So improper would it be for me to start without greeting you? So a good morning. And I start. First and foremost, the government can set up digital libraries and e-books. According to the statistics by the UNESCO, the United Nations Education and Scientific Education, it says that a 13% increase has been achieved in South Africa, where e-libraries and digital libraries have been implemented. So if the government adopts to digital libraries and e-books, the government can also receive a gradual increase as that which was received in South Africa. And in so being, we shall be able to achieve our goal of being at prime and promoting literacy by using technology. I hope my point has reached home. Secondly, the government can use data analytics. According to the report by the African Union, it says that the Nigerian government under President Mohamed Buhari had and used technology to carry out data analytics, and it received a 40% gradual increase and analytics in that it knew on how they could promote technology in those areas, and in so being they increased literacy in those areas where there was less literacy skills. For example, in DRC, under President Shekedi in the Kivu region, the government thought they were schools, and they thought technology was being implemented, that people used e-books to study. But no. And through using technology, they carried out a survey. And that survey helped them to understand that in the Kivu region, we need improvement. And that improvement was implemented under the same president, Felix Tshisekedi. And right now, the government of Congo has received a 30% increase in the literacy levels of DRC. Hadn't it been technology, where would they be? I think you get it. The second point I continue to say, the government can use virtual reality and augmented reality. Virtual reality, I mean things which you can see visually, and augmented reality, I see they can give you aid of the images. For example, people are studying that the economics, but someone is using his ruler and a pencil to draw a table which shows the expenditure and income without using that knowledge to carry out the analytics and see how is the GDP of South Africa developing. And it is through technology that we can see that, yes, the GDP of South Africa has developed in this and this way. Hadn't it been technology, where would our country be? And if the government implements it, we can be able to borrow visual and augmented reality concepts from other countries. That's to say USA, Russia, America, China. Yeah, thanks.
Thank you very much, Honorable Sebunya. We are having a small problem with the cameras, and I think it will take about 1 minute to fix, because these people are not being seen, or they are not being streamed live, because the position of the camera is somehow, I don't know. So we shall request our dear panelists to come over to this side for them to be streamed. Okay, thank you very much for that arrangement. Oh. Yeah. Hope everyone is seen now live. Okay, I'm still with Mr. Arafat Sebunya. You've talked about the country using technology to make surveys on education and also increase literacy and all that. Thank you very much. But do you think, okay, between electronic books or e-books and traditional books, paper, which of the two is more effective for learning how to read and write, and why?
Thanks. And then I beg to continue. I think the e-books are better.
E-books?
Yeah. And because in our country, once the first African United Nations Secretary General Kofi Annan said, literacy is all we demand, but the way we acquire it is different. So I say e-books are better because they provide interactive features in that someone in Kapchora can communicate or share that e-book with someone in Arua. No matter the distance, no matter the terrain, no matter what is happening, that person, they will be able to share the information. Unlike paper, which will need to be transported through the Chira tax park, Masaka tax park, and then we reach to distant areas. But here you just use your technological tool, send, and then we shall say, hey, I've started this. And that, in that way, we are promoting literacy compared to traditional means. Second of all, it provides text to speech. In that you can be here seated. Yes, you want to read, but that it can provide for you a text to speech. In that what is written, it can be translated to you. And in so being, whether something is in Chinese, it is through technology. Dear moderator, you can be there. Text is in Russian. But when we are using an e-book, it's just a matter of you pressing the button. And it will be getting it in the language you prefer. Unlike the traditional paper.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you very much. This panel wants to make life easy. They want to have phones. I move to Cheryl Keitesi. What strategies do you use to stay focused and avoid distractions while using technology for learning?
Thank you, moderator. First of all, I would like to agree with the former speaker. The shift from paper to screen doesn't change the way we navigate a piece of writing. It also influences the degree of attention we devote to it and the depth of immersion. So for me, my strategies, I prefer to become offline. I mute my notifications, I freeze my apps, I immediately switch off my internet connection and choose to work in a quiet environment, because it's all about reading to understand.
Thank you very much. She has said she switches off everything that would distract her. Yeah, that's a really great input. Alan Karamari, how has the pandemic and remote learning affected your reliance on technology for literacy development?
Thank you very much. First of all, allow me to first bring up the meaning of remote learning. Remote learning is the form of education whereby we use the online resources to get information, and in that case, the educator and the student are not physically attending that form of education, and it can therefore affect you as a student due to relying on technology to improve literacy in one way or the other. Like one way, lack of learning environment that fosters engagement, motivation, and collaboration. This is a point whereby if I have a teacher in class, there is that environment that a teacher can provide in, so that there is a collaboration between you and the teacher. The teacher tries to motivate you. The teacher tries to do everything so that he can bring you to class, so that you can get and understand whatever the teacher is teaching or explaining. But look at that point where the teacher is in Kampala and the student is in Mbarara. Now, a teacher just says, maybe this is this, and a student maybe is just having something in mind, doesn't have someone to bring that student back to class or back to that part where they are talking about, and the student is really away from what they are taking, what the teacher is trying to bring up, and therefore you find there is that distant place, and therefore a student is away. That's why I say there is lack of learning environment that fosters engagement, collaboration, and then motivation. Then increases cheating and academic dishonesty due to lack of accountability and supervision. Now, I'm a teacher. I send work to a student who is in Kapchorwa. For me, I'm in Ibanda. Now, a student just goes, if I've sent a virtual test, just goes to Google. If you've sent maybe what are the economies of scale, a student just goes to Google and finds the economies of scale, then sends the work, then you're like, wow, my student is doing the best. But the student doesn't know the answer. He has just copied the answer, and when time for the final paper comes, the student is unable to do anything, and you're like, I've been teaching. The student has been passing all the texts that I've been sending on phone or via any other, maybe laptop or any other gadget. But now the paper has failed. What is the problem? The problem is that the student has been cheating. There has been dishonesty in the academic. Then there is repetition in class and the curriculum, which brings about boredom and disinterest in class. I can say maybe in most of the cases when you are in the whole D, the parents try to engage students with remote learning, whereby maybe a student is in the whole day now, he links up the student and the teacher. Then you learn ahead the students, or you cover a lot of work during that time. And then when you go back to class, and the teacher, because you learned ahead, and the teacher tries to bring back what you learned, you're like, you're bored, you are not interested, and therefore you try to move out maybe of the class. And due to that fact, you try to engage yourself in some things that may be against the school rules and regulations. You can go to the dormitory to sleep when it is no time to sleep, because you know you are not interested in what a teacher is teaching, because you already know. So that is what all the problems that are coming up due to remote learning, and I say they are on a high increase. Thank you, moderator.
Thank you very much, Mr. Alan. He has agreed that yes, e-learning is very good. It bridges the gap between a teacher and a student. And also during pandemics or lockdowns or situations whereby the teacher they can both engage online. And then he also adds that yes, this is good, but there is what we call cheating, which is a bad vice. So this marks the very end of our beautiful panel, and I request we give them some beautiful flowers before I open up to the audience. Thank you. Oops, sorry. So we are going to be hearing from the audience. To you, what do you think is the role of technology in promoting literacy? Should students have phones? Should we promote technology within our schools? Should we integrate technology in our nation if we want to attain high literacy? If we want to teach people how to read? Okay, that was not good. If we want to teach people how to read and write and think critically, should we integrate technology within our education system? Over to you, the audience. Thank you. Someone to help me with moving the mic. Okay. Thank you so much. He's here. Yeah.
Hello, everyone. My name is Ngavo Sad. And post-COVID or after COVID, there is no way we can avoid technology. And we want to understand that if we are driving towards inclusion or disability inclusion, we can't forget technology. We can't forget that technology has helped us take that huge step, the so much desired huge step that we needed in terms of education and persons with disability. You want to agree more that persons with disability are able to access and do more with emerging technology. So I don't think we can do away with technology. Sure. And as for allowing phones in schools, it's not advisable. By the way, I'm a teacher.
Oh, wow. Some flowers for him.
Though not practicing yet, but I'm a teacher of language, literature, and English. However, we do have computer labs, and I believe students can still access that information. Thank you.
That is very beautiful. He's speaking what I wanted to listen to. Technology can easily be accessed by anyone, a person with a disability. A person with a disability cannot easily afford to school, but they can access a Zoom lesson. Yes, I see a hand over there, the boy in pink. In just 1 minute, or less than 1 minute.
Okay, good morning, everybody. My name is Wanzosi Joshua Bright, a student from College School. And I would say that it is quite advantageous for us to have technology in school because technology provides immense amounts of information. Personally, I use technology to find out different answers to different questions of essays that I write. I personally do essay writing. So I would also say, in addition to what the panelists have said, technology creates a lot of awareness in a way that in school, we shall have to find that teachers are going to tackle a subject but not completely enough. We shall have to go to maybe the computer lab and find out more about the subject. And alternatively, if we don't have phones in the schools, we may not want to have the phones, but then we can have the computer labs, just like how the teachers said. But also, there is an alternative that can have right at our tables or desks. Those are what they call the notepads. The notepads can help you to access all the information you'd want to have in the form of PDF or any other kind of document form. And they can also help you to research further without necessarily having distractions like those social media distractions. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for that beautiful input. I would love to have one last hand, then we call it a panel discussion. One last hand from a student preferably. Yeah, him. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Siga Samuel, a student of Queen of Martyrs High School. I have two minds of views on such a discussion. The first one, technology in schools. I, for one, I would like that to happen. But most people find it like if they allow phones in school, the students will have to crop up. Okay, students come with their bad vices. For example, searching bad things. For example, pornography. But if we manage to make lunatic and such robots, we can, I think there is a method that we can be using our phones at school and the teachers can know that what we are searching. They can be viewing everything. The computer labs at school, yes, we can use the computer labs at school, but for our school, for one, I'll use the example of Queen of Martyrs. To get access to the computer lab, you have to go through some procedures in order to get an acceptance sheet. And of which when you get it, you have to access the computer lab the next week because we are quite a lot of students. So allowing phones will be another way to go, and it's actually the best way because, of course, if America can do it, why can't Uganda? Now, the other mind of view, technology. We cannot, like the teacher said, we cannot live without technology nowadays because it has eased everything we do, from hospital, education, name it. Thank you for listening.
Thank you very much for supporting the phones, but our teacher said no phones in school. Okay, let me have one last lady because ladies have been left out. One last lady. Not seeing ladies. Where? Oh, point at her. Yeah, her.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Insimire Pal from Mary Hill High School, and my point of view is that we well know we're in the 21st century whereby technology is one of the leading things in everything that we're doing. And personally, I believe the best way we can put something in place is through the education system, like they've said. But now we're looking at issues where we're debating whether phones are okay for students to use. I believe that if it is possible for the students to access phones, it would be very great an idea because, like he said, in some schools it's very difficult to actually access the computer laboratories because there are very many students and they can't actually access the computer laboratories. So in case they have the phones, yes, we do know they have disadvantages, but we well know that a disadvantage of something cannot rub away its advantages. So it's up to us to actually look for means of maybe curbing down these vices, maybe making sure that the teachers monitor the students or the students do not keep with the phones in school. Maybe everyone brings their phone to school, but then it is kept with the teachers and brought out whenever they have to use it. Also, the teachers in charge of these ICT lessons and all need to get more serious because if you realize some schools just have laboratories for sure. Some laboratories are actually not functioning or helping the students as much. So it's my appeal to everyone that let us front for this and make sure that we are serious if we are fronting for a digitalized world. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Pal. Teachers, when you go back to school, make sure that you make the computer laboratories do what they're supposed to do, not for show. That marks the very end of our panel discussion. Let us give them some flowers. Okay. As my panel steps down, I would really love to say thank you all of you that have engaged, and all of you that have given us your audience. Thank you. I hand over to Mr. Cohens Mudisha, the MC of the day. Let's give them some vibes as they go down. Thank you.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. You know how to tell someone you're beautiful now? Using sign language. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And the gents are like, you're not saying handsome. Okay, handsome. Handsome, handsome. That stands out. Okay, good. Thank you so much, Onyait Churchill and the student panelists. It's been really enriching. Seeing these young people share their ideas freely. Where else could we get that space? I mean, for us that have grown up in the other era, where the young, you must sit down. Where an elder is, you must hide. But we want to thank God that at least there are spaces like this that are enabling young people to share and talk about things that affect them. You talk about education. Yes, we also have adult education, but largely the biggest number of people or target audience is I was about to say a word, but I wanted to confirm. The biggest number is of young people. So thank you so much. Let's give them more flowers. Let's give them more flowers. Now, key announcement. Number one, ladies and gentlemen, we are not waiting for so many people to arrive because almost 99% of the people we expect to be here are here. You should be happy about it. You should be happy about it. You should be happy about it. Simple announcement. Number one, we have raffle tickets. These raffle tickets range from 1K, that is 1,000 Ugandan shillings. For my Kenyan friends, that's, I don't know, how much is a Kenyan shilling today? Things change. People are talking about GDP. 1K or 1,000, 2,000 shillings, 5,000 shillings, 10,000 shillings, 20,000 shillings, and 50,000 shillings. When you buy that raffle ticket, you give money, they give you a ticket. There are two things that you are benefiting and doing. Number one is that selfishly, there is going to be gifts for people who are going to buy raffle tickets. So you stand a chance to win a gift. But number two, and the most important and remarkable one, is that you also get to contribute to a program of buying 5,000 copies of literature or books that Readers Africa and partners will be distributing to community libraries. Isn't that wonderful? Isn't that wonderful? So why shouldn't you be part? Right from 1K, that means even the poorest of students I teach, I know. Even when you are in Keu, Kayasi, I know. All right? I know you can at least afford a 1K. Contribute to that very cause. Thank you so much. We also have some merchandise. African Readers Conference 2023 t-shirts. That one thing, that one souvenir, you go back home, and it's like some form of accountability. Be like, show us what shows you were at Hive Collab. You're like, the back is there. African Readers Conference. We have t-shirts running for 20K. If you need a raffle ticket or a t-shirt, they're right there. These volunteers have them, all right? Okay. Next on program, we are going to have a performance, a sign language poem, shortly. Are you ready for that? And after that, please, ladies and gentlemen, I want to announce that our keynote speaker is in the building. Flowers with a smile. Someone is turning to see where they are. In this whole building, you won't see them until they reach here. We are privileged and humbled to have you here, sir. So we are going to get a performance, and after that performance, we'll have the keynote speaker come through, and after that keynote speech, we'll get a performance from Baptist, and then get into our second panel. All right? So ladies and gentlemen, right about now, allow me without further ado, welcome this lady. I first met her during the first ever sign language debate in Uganda, if not in Africa, organized by Sign Language for All. She is Kirsten, an amazing poet, and she serves with the biggest group and one of our partners of this event, Sign Language for All. The team leader and coordinator, Alex Ogwal, is here, always smiling. Let's welcome Sign Language for All. Sign Language for All, let's welcome them. They focus on making sure that the deaf and people with hard hearing have space to share ideas, and these are some of the spaces they are getting into. Kirsten, you are welcome. Blow us away. Show us some vibes. Poetry needs vibes. Smile. Show her some vibes. Yeah, yeah. So that is like, yeah, yeah.
Thank you. Thank you all. Good morning to you all. My name is Mora Castin Wani. I'm here today to present to you a poem about the hope. The dreams for all? Yes. The hope and dreams for all. It's very easy to put people in boxes, drawing lines, creating sides. There is them, and there is us. Those we feel comfortable with, and we don't. Without education, we cannot do many things. And if we have disabilities, it's worst. But if we get education, then we can do many things. What of us with disabilities? Shall we be left behind? No. The only thing that stands between us and our new reality is the story we tell ourselves. They cannot join our ways, but we can join theirs. Get those phones adapted, buildings modified, environment adapted, signs taught, reshape the literacy agenda for inclusion, financing and digitalizing for life. Without education and inclusion is like a dark room. Thank you so much. Thank you all.
Right. One lesson learned from the poem? Yes? Anything learned? One student to tell me what you learned. In one word. Yes, stand up. One word.
My name is Patrick Odong. I'm from Rubonge Ame Senior Secondary School, Tororo. What I've learned is even if you are disabled, you can still do what others can. Thank you.
Perfect. I only wanted one hand to check. Disability does not mean inability. That's the overall message. Let's give more flowers with smiles this time to Casten. Thank you so much for gracing us with that beautiful and powerful poem. Now, at this very point, I want us to clear way. I want us to feel a little more comfortable to listen. One thing I have learned when I was still a student, like some of us here, of whom I'm still one, I'm still a student as well, I'm a learner in life, is that sometimes you only have that one opportunity to meet the people you ever dreamed to meet. You only have one opportunity. I was chanced to read one of the books written by Mr. Julius Ochinyo, and I think It was one of my favorite texts ever read. Me, I always describe him as the king of imagery. The man can describe things. Those of you that have read from him, you know it better. Ladies and gentlemen, at this point, we are going to welcome a keynote speaker. I mean a keynote speaker. Because he has other events to attend to, we need to have it now. But because whoever is not yet here, they will dearly miss out. After that, I want these people to get ready. A presentation from John Baptist should be ready. And then Felix of Code High School, you get ready. We'll have panel 2 come thereafter. Is that okay? Good. Now, ladies and gentlemen, show me you are there. We will humbly stand up and welcome our keynote speaker of this very event. Let's all stand up. It's good. We'll stretch, but also to get to listen from such a person giving us their time is no ordinary thing. Whoever is in charge, I don't know whether it's protocol, or whoever is in charge, please lead our guest speaker here with flowers. Let's do flowers as he makes his way here. We are welcoming the man himself, Mr. Julius Ochwinyo. Oh, okay. We'll make way. Perfect. You may sit down. At this point, I will welcome Agatha. I don't have those big shoes. I am a writer and still growing to write, but Agatha is a senior writer and she's already published. She has all the confidence to hand over the mic to our keynote speaker. You're welcome, Agatha, to welcome our keynote speaker to speak to us.
Thank you so much, Cohens. Good morning. Good morning. How are you? Are you enjoying the sessions? All right, great. Our keynote speaker is a man who goes without introduction. For all of us who have studied literature in high school, even in university, he's the author of Fate of the Banished. How many of us have read? By show of hands? Yes. He has also authored the book, Footprints of the Outsider. By show of hands? Yes. And all these books, for all of us who were in O-level and, of course, A-level, the books were studied in what? In Nebugate. And he's the longest-serving editor of Fountain Publishers. Right now, he's not at Fountain, but he served there for 15 good years. 15 good years at Fountain Publishers. And do you know how that came about? Because right now I'm doing internship at Fountain. It's because of him. He took his book to be published, Fate of the Banished. So they were like, Julius, you're not going anywhere. We're not just going to publish your book. You will also remain at Fountain to be an editor. And that is how he became what? An editor, because of Fate of the Banished. That aside, he retired. He wanted to stay at home, but Minister of Finance said, no, please come be with us. So right now, he's a full editor, a full program analyst with Minister of Finance. You can imagine. But besides that, for those who know him, he's a very, very simple man, very down-to-earth man. Like, he's the most approachable person I know on earth. Yes, let's join our hands in welcoming Mr. Julius Ochwinyo. That's a weak hand clap, very weak. Thank you. The floor is yours.
Do I stand or continue sitting? Good afternoon. One thing that Agatha forgot to say, Okay, first of all, I did not serve at Fountain for 15 years only. I served for 25 years. Yeah. And then she forgot to say that I am also a teacher, which I actually consider to be something very important. A teacher of English and French. Very strangely. So, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I must first say thank you to the organizers of this conference for inviting me to be the keynote speaker. I feel both flattered and delighted by the invitation. Today we are here to mull over the theme, Reshaping the Literacy Agenda for Inclusion, Financing and Digitalization. As we go about this, what should be the scope of our ideas and what issues should we be thinking of? What involves. In its simplest form, literacy can be viewed in two ways. First, the ability to read and write, and here one finds oneself thinking immediately of functional literacy, which, for example, means the ability to follow directions and to read instructions. And second, competence or knowledge in a specified area, and in this case, we can consider examples such as computational literacy and legal literacy, which is literacy related to the law. However, literacy is broader in scope and goes deeper than that. Some authorities have come up with more elaborate definitions. You will allow me to quote from two such authorities. One, literacy is the ability to identify, understand, interpret, create, communicate, and compute. And I am emphasizing the word compute because a lot of the time when we think about literacy, we are not thinking about computing, which is actually related